Okay, well, welcome back everybody to Crowley House Flower Farm. This week we're continuing on with the little studio. We're getting the rest of it kind of cleaned up. We're now entering into the phase of the fun part where we get to restyle after we've done all the cleaning and grossness and getting everything out. But first of all, Riley and I are heading out down to the little town of Albany, Oregon, and we're hitting up one of our favorite antique stores. We're looking for some little containers and a mirror. We're gonna see what we can find.
Got a new design mirror that's vintage, and she is actually very, very old. You can see there's like a lot of kind of cracking in the frame, but I love her and she's nice and big. She's going to be perfect for me to design weddings in because I use these to look at bouquets when I'm designing, and we needed one that fit the studio more. So here she is. I got this little painting. Very cute for the yurt. Not that I have room for more paintings, but you know, got this little tote bag. She was very cute. I got a new wallet. She's very nice, very nice. And then I got Sylvia a book. It's called A Field Guide to Shells. And then it has like little measuring on the back. It's about seashells, and she loves seashells. So made me think of her.
Okay, so the project continues. I had Riley put together some rolling carts, which Caitlin suggested that we put together or buy because we can kind of tuck them away and pull them out as we need them. But they turned out really, really well. Riley used some of the containers that we got at the antique store just to kind of organize things. It's always nice to, like, when you're doing some sort of organizing, to use things that inspire you. So not only like when right now I'm working on a project at the other house where there's this beautiful big pantry and it needs, I'm gonna video it eventually. I'm just doing a temporary type thing, but it's like using baskets and crates and things that are very beautiful, but yet serve still a function. And then it just makes you want to go into that space, and it makes you a little bit more creative. So even for you at home, if you're like, you know, redesigning your craft room or just a little space for you to, you know, design a little, you know, cubby in your home or things like that, to just think about like ways or things that you can use that are maybe from antique store or a secondhand store, or thrifted, or maybe even from a garage sale. It'd be cool to hear in the comments below kind of some things that you've found that's worked really well to keep you organized and also inspired at the same time. Okay, so my job for today is to finish cleaning up the studio. We've got still a pretty big mess here. It's one of those organized messes, and so what I want to do is just to finish cleaning, finish vacuuming, getting everything done. I might even paint a wall, I'm not totally for sure. I have to get the dried florals up on the ceiling and make some dried floral bouquets as well for the market. So that is my goal for today. I think Riley is going to be helping me in a little bit, and we're gonna try and just get it done today. It's taken us probably a week and a half to do this project. It's a big project for sure. Okay, I'm taking nails out of this wall and screws. Should be entertaining. So Riley and I are working hard in the studio. I'm just hanging up all the drieds. She's painting the one wall that our cooler's on. So she's just using like a Kills, which is kind of a primer. And then I think she's gonna paint it as well. So you can see Keith behind me is working on taking out some tree stumps. We're just making more room for parking area. So there's a lot going on every single day. We're just chipping away at getting the studio up and beautiful and ready for folks to come visit our farm and nursery this fall. So lots going on.
I'm giving the studio some fresh paint that was much needed. It's looking good, just white, but you know, paint does a lot, I feel like, in making a space look cleaner, brighter, newer, all the fun things. It's a really inexpensive way of just making a space look new.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm just out here on the farm today building a stand for the plants for the nursery that will be opening up hopefully here in the next couple weeks. The size I went with here is a 4x8. I'm thinking it might be a little bit too big for the bigger potted plants that we plan on selling. I think this one will be used for smaller ones, maybe 1 gallon, 2 gallon plants. And then eventually I'll probably make a couple more smaller ones, maybe like 4x4s. Or even like a 3x4 or something like that. That way we can put a little bit more weight on it. So just using pressure treated wood to frame it out, and then we'll put some slatted pine board. I think it's about 1/2 inch thick for the actual slat, so water can still go through and it'll hold the plants up and look really nice. So getting it done out here in the heat. So follow along. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Okay, I feel like this is 101st day of working on the studio, but it's hard this time of year, partly because we've got lots of things going on as far as orders go and things like that. So stopping to do things is a little bit or stopping to like organize and clean and then, you know, work in all the orders, and they take longer than you think. And there's so much dust and debris and dirt from the last couple of years of just, you know, not deep cleaning. So today we're going to continue working. We have some orders going out as far as some dried floral orders that are going out to it's just that, you guys, it's just the sweetest little bakery shop. They do a little coffee, and they started off as just making jam at the farmer's market, and then it's been kind of fun seeing their little business grow. And then they got this sweet little spot downtown McMinnville, and you know, the little creaky screen door that opens up and you walk in, and it's just the sweetest little space. It kind of reminds me of this space as far as the tight little, you know, small intimate space is just charming, you know. And so I'm hoping that I will pull off that charm. I know a lot of you guys talked about that on our last video, and that was really encouraging for me, that sometimes those small intimate charming spaces are the best. And so that's what I'm hoping to get here. So this little jam company, they have like bakery goods. They just ordered some dried flowers from us, which we've been dying to get flowers into this little place for about a year now, and Riley has been working with them a little bit on it, and the dried flowers are gonna do really, really well, I think, there, because it just fits their vibe. So Riley's gonna be getting that put together and take that into them. I am working on just getting farmer's market done, and then I'm gonna keep tackling this shop and try and finish it up today. That's my goal. We'll see here. Anyways, okay, off to work I go.
Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your day. Just out here at Rilley house, we were working on these displays. We did change them up a little bit, kind of mid-build. We were just going to keep them flat like this, but then my brother-in-law here is in town, and he suggested building these upper kind of displays as well, just to add a little bit of depth and layer to the displays overall. And then also too, we can get some more of the product up on top, or we can just do some plantings up there, make it look really nice for different seasons, different holidays, that kind of thing. And then back in the back over there, we did build some smaller ones, again, just to kind of change up the variety of the displays. Got the bark chipped down, the old shed moved. So a lot happening here on the farm. Incredibly hot out here, so we're trying to get an early start to the day and get things done before it heats up too much. Just keep watching and follow along. Just going to give you a quick update on what we've been working on in the greenhouse, so come on in. So as you can see, we do have a lot of the stuff we pulled out of the greenhouse just to organize, get it all cleaned up. Beth and the team here have been working hard over all these years, so just kind of rearranging everything, getting everything cleaned up, taking out old supplies and tools, and just kind of organizing everything so it makes a little bit more sense of what we're trying to do. So you guys follow me in here. As you can see right now, we obviously, like I just said, took everything out. We put down new landscape fabric, and now we're getting ready to move everything back in, but just in a little bit more different layout than what it was before. We'll have the 2 growing tables here, and then over here we'll have a lot more racking where the tools and different plants, seeds that we've planted will be growing. As you can see in the background, we do have a lot of flowers, crops going right now. We are planning eventually to hang some plastic up here and create basically a small propagation house on the front side of the greenhouse, and then that way we can get a good start to the nursery, good start for next year, doing the hardy perennials, plants for the nursery as well, cuttings off of that. So it's really exciting, a lot of hard work, and again, just trying to beat the heat, so follow along.
So Keith, what did you put down right here? I know this is where we normally grow like sweet peas and stuff last year.
Yeah, so we just tried to, basically we just tilled it, raked it out, and we just put a cover crop in there. I'm not exactly sure what the seed was. I believe it's some type of grass that normally grows down in Florida, and then a mixture of other plants as well. Again, it's just a cover crop, so it's just starting to sprout now, which is kind of amazing because we just put it down about 3 or 4 days ago, so it's already coming up. It's exciting to see. And then once we're done with the cover crop, we'll just till it under and replant for this next spring. So.
It's more like a green manure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
That's what we're going for.
These are the little wagons that I picked off of Facebook Marketplace. We just painted a new coat of green on that. Keith's sister-in-law did that for us yesterday. Jason bought new tires for them as well. So we're going to put those on. So they're going to be all brand spanking new, probably give a little bit of oil to them. These were owned by a lady who had kind of a similar setup here in West Salem, which is really cool. And she's since retired and is living out her life in a beautiful garden. So that's my dream. But this is the little shed that we had. We moved it back here. We've got just a little bit of setup with just some things that we use for dried flowers. We're hoping to have like a little station for washing buckets back here. This is the roof for the little shed. So we've got to put that back together. And then Keith is working with his brother-in-law, which has been super nice to have them here on the farm. But they're working on rebuilding some of these little areas for us to be able to seat up. I don't know what they're called, potting, tables kind of thing. And then we also are going to have one back on top of these barrels. So those barrels there work really well if you have issues with mice eating your seedlings so they can't climb up the sides. And then we just put some pallets on top and grow our seeds on there. So we will keep you guys updated as things materialize and as we get plants in. So far, we don't have any plants. We've been working on sourcing some things. And then we also have been seeding up. Let me show you really quick what we're doing. Keith seeded up some salvias and they're all starting to pop. But look at all the little seeds. They're
so
like
fun.
So fun.
It's in
Coming
the
up.
stew too.
I know. Okay, so Riley and I got the mirror hung up on the wall. That's about the only thing that we've done as far as like a permanent thing. We had to wait for that paint to dry. And we're thinking just to keep it white. Our plan eventually is to put up insulation throughout the studio again. We used to have it, but we needed to rip it out. It was really old. It was from the 70s. It was gross and And then put up some more plyboard or beadboard or something like that and make it look really cute. That way the shop stays a little bit warmer in the wintertime and then cooler in the summer. So we do have a mini split for this eventually that we're going to put in that will help with the air conditioning. And then we have just a heater that's propane and, comes on in the winter time and it works fairly well. It's still cool in here, but a lot of times you don't want it super warm for a studio just because you're working with flowers and things like that. But you want it warm enough to where your dried flowers and things like that don't start growing, mold or anything like that. So there's just a good balance between the two. All right, so to finish out this video, I am going to put together some dried floral arrangements. We are using them for the farmer's market. This time of year we kind of transition, and so I'm using some of the stuff that we bought in from Charles Little and Company, and I will put a link to their website down below in the show notes for you as well, because you can order dried florals from them. We also have some dried florals that are our own, and so we're just using the combination to make some of these arrangements for the farmer's market and for this little farm stand when it opens up, because there's nothing better than dried florals in fall. It just makes the house feel so cozy. And a lot of times what people do will piece these apart and then use them in like little bud vases. And you could just do something really cute on your table, or just like all on its own above the mantle or things like that. So it's just a really inexpensive way to be creative with florals that you have left over from the garden. So really quickly, I'm going to give you a few just kind of things we do here in our farm as far as dried florals go, and kind of how we dry them, because we get that question a lot. If I have a crop that is starting to kind of go over, or I want to take it out, but yet it is something that can be dried, because not all flowers can be dried. So you kind of want to look at a list of things that are hardy that can be. What we'll do is bunch them, and we usually bunch them in either 5 to 10 stems, and we'll hang them upside down on the ceiling. So dried flowers, you want to just cut anything that you have in your yard that might be a dried floral. A lot of times on the packet it will say it dries well. Sometimes the flowers are a little bit more durable, or they feel a little bit hardier, I guess, but not always. So you can do things like larkspur, which it's very delicate, but it dries really, really well. But things like amobium or straw flower are going to have more of a papery feel to the texture of the flower, and so you just kind of know that that will dry. Dried grasses are always good. Things like, I don't know, like wheat, all those kinds of things you can dry really easily. But for us here on the farm, it's just kind of hit and miss on our bunches that we grab. Usually it's left over from a wedding. We always like hang them up to dry for the fall, and then I will order in just some bunches to round out what we have from Bethany and Charles down at Charles Little and Company. It's just a good way to extend your season, whether it's in your personal home or if you're a farmer or a cut flower grower that you just do a little roadside stand, whatever. It just allows you to offer something a little bit more fall inspiring, and as your flowers kind of petal out. And it's a good way to just, put all that money into seed and everything like that to just save and be able to reuse. Okay, so I'm gonna make a dried floral bouquet, and then I think we're gonna call this video good for the week. We are not done with the studio, but we are heading in that direction. It looks much better, and I feel a little bit less stressed about it, but there's still a lot to do. So we'll take you along next week as we finish that up. And I'm going to be doing some seed saving and starting some seeds. I think Emma's going to be here with us as well. So that's exciting. She's not here on the farm very often anymore. She lives over about an hour away, so it's a little bit tricky for her to get here, and then she has another part-time job, so it's sad, but I love seeing her. And so she's coming. She's gonna be doing some stuff with us next week, so that'll be cool. Anyways, here is the dried floral. Okay, so just like putting together a regular wrap bouquet, we're gonna wanna make sure that we have a focal flower, a disc, and a spike, plus some fillers. And so for my focal flower, I'm using peonies. For my disc, I'm using straw flowers. Aren't those gorgeous? For my spike, I'm using pink larkspur. And then for more of an airy, fillery, I'm having some of this terracotta yarrow, and then a little bit of this peach status. And I have just other little remnants of things, like this is some wheat and this beautiful oregano. This is almost like my greenery. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I usually have like a stem count that I put together so that everything has a nice bunch size. And something that feels good in my hand, because we sell these for about $25, $30 depending on what we're putting in them. And so I want it to feel nice in the hand. And so yeah, so let me get to it. Okay, so you can tell I've got a nice grip on it. It has about 30 stems in this one, just kind of nice. There was some thinner pieces that I kind of wisped in. Now you'll notice that I've kind of varied the height, just like we do in an arrangement, to give it that really classic country, I call it whimsical feel, but it's a very airy feel. That's kind of what we're known for in our designs, but it's not all kind of clumped together. So you can, if you start to get one that kind of clumps together, you can kind of pull up and edit it before you cut your stems down, and that will help kind of give you that look that we are famous for. So anyways, I will pop a few of these if you're interested. We can ship some out to you. We'll put them on our Shopify, and you can get your own creative bouquet and you can put it together yourself, and you can just specify in the notes what colors you would like. Something like this, earth tones, like pinks and things like that, or we can do really cool tones with blues and purples, or we can do more fall tones, which are gonna be oranges and browns and grasses and things like that. But this one is kind of a beautiful blushy pink burgundy. I love it. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching as we progress on this little studio. We'll try and finish it up next week and give you a grand tour. I was hoping to do that this week, but that didn't happen. As you can tell, we've just been busy sending flowers out the door, which has been great. We're super blessed to have all the orders coming in. And anyways, so if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share it with a friend. We would love to have more folks tag along with us here at Crowley House with the nursery and everything like that coming about. And until next time, much success in all you do and grow. We'll be seeing you shortly back here at Crowley House very soon. Bye-bye.